Welcome to another Soccer Down Here 1v1. Time to go indoors. And, of course, since it's summer, that's not necessarily a bad idea. Time to catch up with a friend of the network, Andrew Haines from the NISL Executive Board of Directors. Recent announcement where the NISL is heading to Tampa Bay, and it is going to be the Tampa Bay Strikers coming online. Andrew, welcome back.
Hey, thanks for having me.
All right, so let's get into the idea here. I know that the NISL is looking for certain markets to continue to grow and expand the product after year one. When you're looking for a market specifically, what characteristics are you looking for to help grow the league the way that you're looking?
Well, I think, population size, how many businesses are in the community, what's the participation like in youth soccer and collegiate. So, we want to go to a place where we feel we have enough people to buy tickets, enough businesses to support us on the sponsorship side. And then, really it goes down to, our base market is really soccer families. That's our first target market for tickets. And then obviously it fans out from there. But if you have those things in place, your likelihood of success is much, much greater. And then, from a league standpoint, obviously being in a good market, Tampa is our largest market. It's definitely appealing as we go expand. And our expansion and our league structure is set up a lot different than anybody, any other league out there. So it's important that we are in good markets. We have good branding. We have, a lot of those things good because these other arenas are looking at that stuff. And they want to see the overall picture. They don't want to just, say, okay, we'll get a team. We want them to buy in with us and be partners, not necessarily financially, but just, we want their support. So all those things kind of play in, and Tampa's an area where, my daughter's lived here since college. She went to St. Leo University, which is, just outside of Tampa. I lived in Celebration, Florida, so not far. I'm in St. Pete now. And so it's just I think this is a great market. It's going to be a tough market because it's a big market. And, we got the big players here, Major League Baseball, NHL, NFL. And we don't just have joker teams either. We got some of the best run and world-class, major league sports teams in the world. The Lightning win awards all the time. The Bucks have Tom Brady right now. The Rays have been a contender here lately. So, we're definitely a small fish in an ocean. So
when you look at, I guess this is where I ask you about getting out the pipe and the magnifying glass, and this is the Sherlock Holmes question here for you. When you were investigating markets, has Tampa Bay always been there for you on the to-do list? It's like gotta have, and Tampa Bay was on there, or was it just something that happened organically with the relationship that you have there and the knowledge that you have from living there with family and such?
I think it's always been kind of on the list. I believe that Florida is in general as a whole is a really tough place for sports because there's just so much to do. Outside of sports, just any kind of entertainment. So it's got to be the right fit. And that's why we didn't put Tampa in year one. I'll say, our arena deal in Tampa is the most I've ever paid for an arena. And we decided to do that because we feel that certain things are in place and we've got enough things that will compensate for that increased rent. But it's definitely a risk. It's a risk for us. Our goal as a business is not to lose money. We did lose money last year, which, we were expecting, but the goal is to eventually break even or make money. We're not a nonprofit. We are for profit, although we haven't made profit. Yeah.
So, when you're looking at arenas in general, and you can apply this to the Yingling Center, which is where the Strikers are going to be playing on the campus of the University of South Florida. When you're looking at arenas, arena size, arena capabilities, I guess this is where you put on your administrator hat for me. When you're looking for venues, what are you looking for that venue to be able to handle / seat / partner when it comes to finding these cities? Because in Memphis, you're not in Memphis, you're across the border. In Rome, it's going to be a situation up there where there's an arena there as well. Fayetteville, North Carolina, in the markets that you're there, when you're looking at a venue, what are you looking for in a venue?
Well, I think we have to have the proper seating capacity. I mean, we really don't want to be in rec facilities or too small of facilities. I think right now, if you look at our league footprint and even what we're about to expand to, I'd say we're probably right around 8,000 seats everywhere. Rome's going to be that one spot that will be less. I'm not involved in the ownership of Rome or Columbus, but the other teams I have ownership in. We want to be in solid facilities. And part of it goes back to when we go present to Geico or Liberty Mutual, these big companies, they don't want to deal with one team. They want to deal with, a cluster if we're small like we are, if we're not a major league team. So as we build these out, we want to make sure the capacity is strong. The locations are good. Obviously the deal has to be good in the sense, like I said, even with USF's Yingling Center being our most expensive, there's so many perks that we get. I mean, the Vinnick Sports Group manages the arena. That's who owns the Tampa Bay Lightning. They assisted a lot with our press conference. They're assisting a lot with marketing and other things. And it's probably one of the best press conferences that I've seen from a coverage standpoint. We've got some great coverage out of Tampa. But that partnership adds value to our deal. And so, those are the main things, capacity, location, within the city. Is it easy to get to? Is it in a safe area? All those things. And really all our venues, I think we have some great venues there. They all have like different things that are great. But we need to get more focused on the business side going into this year. Last year it was more about the product and then get butts and seats. It does us no good to have 7,000 seats with, 1,000 people. So
when you look at year one in the NISL where looking at things out of Columbus, I could do that regularly with highlight packages and stuff. So I saw the coverage out of Columbus in year one. When you look at what you were able to see from a league perspective, being there with the board of directors in year one, what were some of your bigger takeaways about year one? Yes, getting it online and moving it forward, but what were some of the things that you learned about yourself in year one for the NISL?
Well, I think we were definitely undermanned on the front office side. I think, our big focus was making sure the product was there, and having the women's side as well was kind of a whole new concept for what I've done. I've never been involved in women's sports before, so making sure that was solid, and then having double headers, making sure the flow of that. It took us really almost the whole season to get that down, and I think we have something good going into next season where we can get the games done in about 3 hours to 3 hours and 15 minutes from start of the first game to end of the second game. And so last year we had some games go as long as 4 hours. And when we started this, we never thought that fans would stay for both games anyway, like as far as like the full games. So the average fan stayed about a game and a half. And we're hoping that by getting the game time shrunk down some, we'll be able to keep them a little bit longer. So I mean that's really a big focus. So right now, outside of launching these expansion teams that we've got, it's really about adding good quality staff because as we grow, it doesn't matter how good, our on the field product is. If we don't have the right structure on the business side, we can't expand like we want to. And going into year 3, I mean, I would anticipate, my partner and I are seriously looking at it, adding at least 4 new teams ourselves. So that third year is going to be really, really important for us. So right now we have to get that structure. We get our system set and in place so that then we can scale what we're doing.
What was it like to have the men's games and the women's games, men's division, women's division? I mean, it was a novel idea that came about, and to have this double attraction, almost like a double feature, if you want to talk about it in a movie sense. You're bringing both of these aspects, and both are growing right now. What was the feedback in having both a men's division and a women's division as a part of your on-field product?
I think there was some people that were like, this isn't going to work, and I don't know about this. But I'll tell you what, when they come out to the games, and I think it was more on the women's side, people were just like skeptical. Like, these games aren't going to be any fun. It's, and let me tell you, man, I enjoyed the women's games way more than the men's games. And the women were just, they all played with such passion, and like they were so physical and just chippy. And I like that style. So it fit well, but the games were just good. And you just never knew who was going to win. I remember I was at a Memphis game versus, I want to say it might have been Rome or Columbus. And Memphis scored to take the lead with like 8 seconds left in the game. And it's exciting. So the feedback we got from fans was kind of like, wow, we weren't expecting that. That was awesome. And a lot of people kind of reiterated what I just said about, how much they enjoyed the women's side. So, and then the other thing that I saw was a lot of young girls that play soccer in the communities really have somebody that can be role models. And, they were there when we had, just a men's team, the girls would come out and all that. But now I think it's a little different having that female role model. And I think that's really cool to see some of these fans with the players. I mean, we've had fans in other cities like travel because their kid got to meet a player on the other team. And it's just really cool to see how we can impact a lot of people that way.
Andrew Haines from the NISL Executive Board of Directors hanging out with us here for another couple of minutes on the Soccer Down Here 1v1. What's it like being a steward of the game in that way, where you are learning things and you see how it rubs off in the local community, and then you see all of the other effects that kind of domino their way through with teams and players traveling and fans traveling to chase after their favorite teams? What's it like to see all of these knock-on effects happen in year one?
I think it's kind of like one of the reasons why I enjoy this business. I mean, when you lose, a few $100,000, it's like, why are you doing this? And then you go and see that, or you go to the game and you see how many people have a good time. And then look at what we can do in the community. I mean, we're a low-level professional organization. So, but we're still able to have such a major impact on a lot of people's lives that I think a lot of us take for granted when, being in it, and so I think that's pretty cool and an area that I like to see. Obviously we want to make it even bigger though. I mean, we got to continue to get out there. And I think as people see, it's like any business and anything you're building. I mean, when people see that you're genuine in what you do, you're gonna be successful at some point. It might take some while to get there, but like if you do the right things and you're genuine with people, and we are in the community, it's just one of the things. Anybody who comes on any of my organizations, number one is community. Like we have to be a part of it, and if people aren't on board for that, they just don't get selected. I mean, because it's a big part of what is required.
The runway for the new season in 22-23, it's I know a lot of folks will sit there and say, well, yeah, strikers are coming online in December. Okay, yeah, that's 5 months away, and everybody's like, oh, it's only 5 months away. But yes, that's exactly what
Don't scare me.
I was going to say. It's like you've had the press conference, and it's 5 months away. It's like folks can sit there and say, yeah, it's 5 months away, and the emphasis in the sentence really can dictate what's going on here. The runway isn't as long as folks may think. It is in a sports sense with scheduling, but it's not in a business sense in getting something like this off the ground. Where is, and I asked you this last time you were with us, where is your to-do list? Is it on the fridge? Is it on a notebook? Is it on a big whiteboard off to your side? And what's the next thing that you think you can check off to get Tampa Bay that much closer to being ready when the season starts?
Well, because I split time between, Tampa, St. Pete area and Memphis, I keep everything on spreadsheets. And, really the big focus here is staff. So, since the press conference, I've gotten dozens of resumes for front office, for coaching, for all that. We started interviewing coaches before the announcement. After the announcement, we got more interest. So we're going to continue to look through those. But that's really what we got to get done next. We need some boots on the ground. And, we're still going to be doing our marketing and things like that. But it really is going to come down to, let's get that head coach hired, because once the head coach is hired, then we can start signing players. Okay. We start signing players. That's stuff we can market, start getting out in the community. And then we need those front office people to be able to handle the inbound calls and emails that we get, outbound calls for new business. So really those are my big focuses. All at the same time, we're bringing on some more people in Memphis and Fayetteville, which I'm part owner of and managing partner. And then we have one more expansion team that will be announcing soon. So it's definitely it's definitely a lot of work. That's for sure.
So let me ask you this. This is my last question. So you sure you don't want to break any news with me right here and make that announcement?
I think I did that last time, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
I think I did. Not this time.
Okay.
I want people to come back and be watching. We don't have a signed deal yet. We have things verbally agreed to. So once the contract's done, we're going to get it announced quick because we got to get to work. And, just like here, we're building there. But we have people already in that market that will, be able to start right away. We've already got marketing concepts. I mean, this stuff, we don't just throw it together. I mean, even Tampa, we've had this stuff done for months. But sometimes it takes forever to get the contracts wrapped up. The Lightning were in the Stanley Cup, so they were focused on that. So we had to wait until that was over to even do the press conference. So it'll be fun though. We're going to continue to build and grow, and our goal has been to be at least have a national footprint by year 3. So we're still kind of shooting for that.
Well, and anytime you want to break news, then feel free to break news here. And that's what we're here for here at Soccer Down here in the SDH Network. Breaking news. Anytime the National Indoor Soccer League wants to break news, we'll be more than happy to break it here.
Perfect.
Andrew Haines from the Executive Board of Directors of the NISL, NISLpro.com. That's the way to keep up with everything going on in the NISL. Congratulations on Franchise 5. We'll keep an eye on Franchise 6. Be safe. We'll catch up with you soon because we know the season will start before you know it.
All right. Thanks for having me. Have a good one.